All right. Game one. Cowboys at the Chargers. The Chargers are -2.5. We're going to start with Jake.
You were all surprised how well the Cowboys played week one. I know all of you were. I was too.
I think the Dallas Cowboys win the NFC.
It's okay. I expect them to be good, but they played great. They lost, but they played great. I expect them to go into SoFi and cover +2.5. They lost to Marcus Lawrence. That frightens me. But the Chargers barely beat the football team with Heineke and Fitzmagic only playing 2 quarters, right? I think Dak will go in, air it out. They'll have a more balanced offense. I think Zeke will get more carries, score a touchdown. I like the Cowboys +2.5.
Anthony?
Yeah, I got to agree with Jake. Even though this goes against all my principles, absolutely hate the Cowboys. But Cowboys really impressed me last week. Going into Tampa, they should have won. Like I said, they had a different kicker. They probably did win that game. Chargers, they didn't impress me. Washington's got a good defense, but at the same time, it was a close game still. And they should have blown that team out the minute, Fitzmagic was out. But yeah, I'm going to go with Cowboys covering the spread, and I think they're going to win outright.
I'm an NCAA student athlete, so I can legally not bet. And I do not legally bet or illegally bet. I don't bet at all. So I can pick who is going to win. What you guys refer to as money line, I bet. I'm just going to say who.
Don't say bet.
Don't say bet.
What team do you like in this game?
I like the Chargers, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Justin Herbert is my fantasy quarterback, and I believe that he can lead the Chargers to a victory against the Dallas Cowgirls. Zeke shit the bed during the game, and I don't see him making an impact. I don't see their offense making an impact, and I see with the loss of DeMarcus Lawrence, Herbie just absolutely piecing up that defense. So I like the Chargers, and I think they're going to win the football game. That's how I want to preface that.
The Dallas Cowboys are tied for the worst cover percentage against spread in the NFL since the start of last season. To be fair, Dak was hurt for most of last year, but Dak Prescott is 1-5 against spread as a starter since last season. That's something to think about. Also, Los Angeles has covered in each of its last 3 games against the Cowboys. I'm taking the Chargers -2.5. It's in LA. I think that this team might be a team this year. I don't think that they're a contender, but I think that they're rising up in the ranks. And I just hate the Cowboys personally. So that's my pick for that game.
Can I just add one thing?
Absolutely.
Because you said it's in LA.
Yep.
There's probably going to be more Cowboys fans at the game than Chargers fans. I'm just saying.
Why do you say that?
You don't think the San Diego fans travel well?
No, the Chargers do not have fans.
I just think the Cowboys, along with the Steelers and the 49ers and the Packers, they have a nationwide fan base. Southern Cal. It's going to be like a split 50-50 crowd.
The Cowboys literally have training camp in California.
That is factual. Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's smart, by the way. Smart move by Jerry. Build the fan base. Can't hate him for that.
That's what Jerry does.
So
Jerry's world, we're just living in it.
It is. It really is. So we're going to be joined by a special guest. And he is jumping on right now. So we're going to be talking about the Bears.
The Bears. Is it Mike Ditka? That would be so freaking cool.
That would be actually the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
Coach Ditka is hopping on the Zoom.
Smoking a stogie. That's not Mike Ditka. Damn it!
That's not how you spell Mike Ditka.
How we doing? What's up, dude?
Yeah, we hear you. How you doing, bro?
Pretty good, man. It's been a while.
Hey, it has been a while. You look great, though.
Yeah, thank you, man. You too.
Hey, thanks. So these are my buddies. You can see their names, but Anthony's my cousin. Jake is on my little brother's computer, so his name is not Seamus, and then that's Sandy.
Not my name. My name is Andrew.
Oh, nice to meet you guys.
All right, so we are going to be talking about the Bears and the Bengals. We are joined by Bears expert Sam Massaro, and we are going to pick this game right now. So we're going to start with Jake. Jake, who do you like in this game?
Oh, this is tough.
By the way, Bears are -2.5. Didn't say
You should
that.
switch the picture behind you.
Tommy, can
Hey.
you tell me,
Great idea, huh?
or Sam maybe, because you're the Bears expert, is
I'm
Dalton?
gonna, I can kick it off for you.
Yeah, go ahead, kick it off. Kick it
Go
off.
ahead and kick it off, because I have questions that I'm going to ask you after you.
Feel free. So I'm going to start by saying that the Bears' performance on Sunday night was absolutely atrocious,
Mhm.
and I think that's not to blame on certain players individually. I think we're talking more of a Matt Nagy problem here, a
Yep.
front office problem, as we saw Justin Fields come into the game for 5 snaps, absolute rock star,
Mhm.
and I mean, there's no reason he shouldn't have been in the game the entire time. Eddie Jackson looked like he was playing high school football again. Don't know what that was about. Defensive line didn't look bad, but the Rams were all stars in that game, and I can't put it any differently. Matt Stafford looked absolutely incredible. Nothing was wrong with this game. I think he almost threw a perfect passer rating or something like that. But yeah, I think the Rams looked good. It was not. I think no matter how they played, I think they're going to lose that game either way. I think it was just embarrassing seeing that offense perform like that, especially as a fan for so long as I've been seeing Andy Dalton walk onto that field time after time after time after his interception, after he runs for a first down on 4th and 10 and then fumbles the ball like an idiot. It was deflating to see. But for this weekend, so we're playing the Bengals, another orange team. It's going to be interesting. I'm on Bears I think you said -2.5. I'm on Bears -3 fully.
Yeah.
I'm already locked into it. And I explained to Tommy earlier about this. The offense, I mean, it's not bad. You got David Montgomery, who was an absolute stud. He's playing great. Andy Dalton, if he starts again, I don't know what to think. But even if he does, I think regardless of who starts at quarterback, offense has a chance to turn around here. Allen Robinson will get more passes. Darnell Mooney will get some more passes. I think Cole Kmet's starting to find his groove a little bit. And I think, but where I'm really seeing it, the defense is going to jump all over him. I think if Eddie Jackson plays that same way again, cut his ass, take him out of the league, he's over. But I feel the Bengals have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Joe Burrow had a terrible problem being protected last year, and you get that triple punch of Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Bilal Nichols, and even Eddie Goldman, who's back now. Robert Quinn, so. But I think that they're not going to be able to beat that defensive line. I think they're going to be able to feast on them. And the linebacker, I think Roquan Smith looked decent. If that secondary can pull it together, I think we're looking at a Bears blowout here.
That's a hot take from Bears expert.
Yeah, I mean, I came with passion. I think
I love it. I love the views.
I'm not even going homer here. I think that's that's as good of an analysis as I can get, especially with as I watched the Bengals a lot last year. Big Joe Burrow fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, so I'll say in Sam's defense, like, Bengals offensive line is so bad, and the Bears have Khalil Mack. It just seems like something has to give in that situation. And like the Vikings were getting a lot of pressure last weekend against the Bengals. Like,
not really.
They were getting stung. Joe Burrow was slammed to the ground a couple times. And
well, he also went like 20 of 27 for 280 and 2 touchdowns. So
as an offensive lineman, when you got a quarterback like that, he makes you look good, even if you're not like that. So if he can get the ball out quick to the receivers that he has, and Jamar Chase can actually catch a ball, I don't see a scenario where the Bengals lose.
Hey, by the way, Jamar Chase can catch the ball.
Jamar Chase can catch the ball. The white stripes do not affect him.
Yeah.
News, CNN, breaking news: Jamar Chase can catch balls. Bengals is the team that I want.
All right, so Big Sandy is going Bengals. I'll just go right here. Not just because Sam is joining us. I am going Bears -2.5. This is why.
Out of way.
The Bengals, for my entire existence, other than a couple times where they made the playoffs but lost in the first round every time, have been the dumpster of the NFL. And nothing against the Bengals. They have a nice stadium. I like their jerseys are cool. But they fucking stink. So I just cannot. It's not in me to pick them. And I think that the Bears have to win this game. I think there's a percent chance that Matt Nagy is fired if they lose this game.
It is. It's a can't lose game. It's definitely a can't lose game.
So this could be like Matt Nagy might be given like a Super Bowl type hype speech in a locker room for this game to play against the Bengals.
If they lose, he deserves to get fired. I've been out on him ever since the minute they snapped the ball and Andy Dalton's out there after that pick.
Yeah.
Nagy gone.
Yeah. Interception on your first drive is hard to come back from.
That was, I knew I gave it up there. I slammed Bears money line and I was saying it's over. And David Montgomery goes fucking 40 yards right off the bat. And then all of a sudden I go to take a piss and then it's 7-0 Rams. It's horrible, but I totally agree with you what you were saying. The Bengals have been the armpit of the NFL for a while now. And I feel that, don't get me wrong, Joe Burrow is a star. Jamar Chase can catch balls, for the record. But yeah, I just don't see it. They don't have the supporting cast. They don't have a defense. They don't have an offensive line. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, and just like to back up the Bears here, Cincinnati has won just one of its last 16 road games straight up. So that's pretty bad. Something to think about. But Anthony and Jake, you guys want to take a stab at it?
I'll go. You see, I'm gonna go Chicago, but only solely because it's in Chicago. If this game was in Cincinnati, I would be seriously considering the Bengals. Like everyone said, the Bears did not impress me at all last week. Having Andy Dalton in at all surprises me. Justin Fields scored a touchdown in one of the 5 snaps he had, and they took and basically left him on the bench. Mm-hmm. And David Montgomery, though, he did impress me. He's had some so-so games the last 2 years, but last week he took advantage of some big runs against a pretty stout run defense. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Bears -2.5 here.
Sam,
Hit me.
it's like it's 1985 with all your stats and your players that you're doing. I mean, Tommy's giving me every stat in the listen. I don't disagree with anything you guys are saying, but you haven't told me the one thing that I need to hear.
What's that?
Is Justin Fields starting?
No,
this
because
is
then I'm not picking him. I'm sorry.
I hate getting this question so much because I'm rolling around like ready to die because Matt Nagy won't do anything. They won't start Justin Fields. I haven't heard anything. I hear there's chatter going around that maybe it's going to happen. If it does, it needs to happen. It should.
I would say the over/under on like week that Andy Dalton is benched is probably like 4.5.
It's got to be like, something 3.5, 4.5 at this point. I mean, I gave it 3.5 going into the season.
I'm picking the Bengals +3.
Okay.
And listen, I am not inside the Bears locker room. Sam might be because he worships this fucking team apparently. But here's the deal. I think that Andy Dalton starting sucks the life out of the defense. Like they're going out there like, we don't believe in this guy. And we don't believe in the coaching staff. That drains them of their – now, Matt Stafford was awesome, and the Rams were going to win last week either way because they're just better, if Fields is started or not. But I think it's a field goal game, and the Bears might win, but I can't pick them because I just don't have faith in Andy Dalton. And Joe Burrow's a stud. He's got great receivers. Yeah, the O-line is suspect, but – as Andrew just said, when you have a quarterback who's that good, he can go around some of the mishaps of his offensive line and get a win. I like Bengals 2.5 or 3 or whatever the hell it was. I like the
2.5
Bengals.
and 3 are a lot different though. That's a big difference.
I'm picking the fucking Bengals. Okay, that's what I'm doing.
I'll let
Whatever
you know.
the number is, give me it. I'm picking the Bengals.
I'll let you know right now. I'm looking at the odds.
I think it's 2.5.
So actually, breaking news here.
It's 1.5. Yeah, I have it on my phone, but I didn't
one
want
and
to
a
bring that up. I'm still picking the fucking Bengals.
So it's at 1.5.
Oh, it's at 1.5 now.
It's at 1.5.
According
Wow.
to the sports book that we use, yeah, it's at 1.5.
I agree
Give me
with what Jake was saying. Like, if this were Justin Fields starting, I think I'd be a lot more comfortable picking the Bears, but I'm still going to stick with the Bears just simply because it's in Chicago. And like we've been saying, this is sort of a must-win game, and the Bears seem to play a lot better in Chicago than they do on the road. So I'm sticking with the -1.5 Bears.
Yeah, it's a home field advantage for sure.
First Soldier Field game with fans in 2 years.
It's going to be electric.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that coming into here. That's honestly, Hammer didn't even like. I might adjust that line up to like 6.5.
Well, let me tell you something right now. Those Chicago people are pretty feisty. If Andy Dalton trots out for the first snap, the fans might cheer for the Bengals to get that fucker out of the game. I'm just saying.
You're right. It did happen in the preseason.
I'm just saying.
I would have been on the same page. I would have done the exact same thing. I'm
Yeah.
a fake fan. I would have done it.
So it pains me to do this because he is a ginger, and I am a ginger. But Andy Dalton, unfortunately, the trends are not in his favor. Andy Dalton has failed to cover every time as a home favorite since 2018.
Jeez.
The rough blow.
Chicago is 4-11 against the spread following a loss over the past 3 years.
I think
And Chicago has failed to cover each of its past 3 games as a home favorite.
We are analyzing this game like there's a fucking final exam. Let me tell you something right now.
Hey, we're
Give me the damn Bengals.
trying to give out the best information so people can do with that what they please, maybe make some money. But
those are some stats right there. I gotta respect that. I mean, records are made to be broken.
yep.
I'll leave
true.
it at that.
Yeah. Hey, there's also a chance, like you guys were saying, if Justin Fields is the starter, you might be picking the Bears here. Like, hey, halftime, whole new team might be coming out on the field.
You honestly never know. I feel if Justin Fields gets more snaps, the better, honestly, because he didn't fail once last week.
Yeah. And I think that Matt Nagy might have to, just because he knows if they lose this game, he might be out of town. So
There might be someone with a sniper waiting like to shoot him because it's
possible.
It definitely is possible. But
aggressive. That's aggressive.
Anti-crime. I'm coming into this podcast anti-crime, but I mean,
All
I'm
good
not
vibes.
going to say I would blame the person for doing that.
All right. Well, Sam, thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hey, we'd love to have you again.
Long time in the
Nice
works.
meeting you,
Oh,
Sam.
please do.
All
I'll
right.
bring the heat. We'll see what happens.
Hey, we love the juice.
All right. Thanks for having me, boys.
Nice meeting
Bears.
you, man.
Bear down.
All
I
right.
kind of feel bad
That
for
guy's
kicking-
going to lose a lot of fucking money this weekend. I'll tell you that much right there. What an idiot. The Bears? Are you kidding me? I wanted to be nice. I wanted to
I
be
think
nice.
Dick has shrunk a little bit.
I kind of feel bad for kicking him off. Do you want to just like?
I didn't kick him off. I told him that I was like, he texted me. He's like, hey, I love the show. Can I come on and talk about the Bears? And I was like, yeah, I mean, none of us know anything about the Bears. So he came on and talked about the Bears.
I thought it was great.
I thought it was awesome. He
Yeah.
brought the
Supposed
juice.
to be a part of
He
it.
did bring the juice. The kid loved it.
Kid
Yeah.
loved it. Crushed a beer like mid fucking
Yeah,
podcast.
he had a real life.
Crushed a beer, and then he had the Sox sign, the Bears hat, Bears shirt. He's like,
Is he
big
still-
Chicago guy.
Where'd you meet this kid?
I went to Gonzaga with him.
Oh, I thought he was from Benjamin.
I thought he went to Lehigh.
You guys were wrong.
We were all
All
right.
right, let's
He
keep it
thought it was
rolling.
Mike Ditka.
Next game here. Chiefs versus Ravens. This is the primetime game of the weekend on Sunday. We're going to go ahead and go to Jake. Jake, avid Ravens fan, avid Lamar fan, coming off a loss week 1 to
Not a Ravens
a team
fan,
that
I'm more
stinks. So, Jake, take the floor.
I'm not a Ravens fan. I'm a Lamar Jackson fan. There's a difference. And, sometimes in life you make decisions with your heart instead of your head. This is one of those times. Yeah, Lamar fumbled twice last week. The defense kind of sold. The offensive line sold. It was a mess. They also got a 14-0, took their foot off the gas pedal. They got to beat he's 0-3 against the Chiefs in his career. Something's got to change.
Don't say what I think you're about to say.
Give me the Ravens plus 3.5, right? Is
3.5, yep. 3.5.
Listen,
you idiot.
I'm not picking them outright. And we know good and damn well the Chiefs are allergic to covering the spread.
The Chiefs do not know how to cover the spread.
The Chiefs have not covered a fucking spread since they played the Jets in week 6 last year or something. They're the most overrated team I've ever seen as far as covering the spread. Give me the Ravens. I'll probably regret this, but give me the fucking Ravens.
I gotta go Kansas City.
It's okay. Do what you gotta do. Just do what you
Do
gotta
whatever you guys want to do.
But I gotta say, if this game were like a week 8, week 9 matchup in Baltimore, I 100% be picking Baltimore. But week 2, Kansas City still looked good last week, and they were down and out against Cleveland and came back. They took advantage of some poor play calls by Cleveland. And, they found that 75-yarder that they always find. And Baltimore's just too banged up. That running back, I'm not really sure what they're doing. Lamar, he can't do it all.
Devontae Freeman was activated onto the 53-man roster today, by the way.
Yes,
that doesn't make a difference.
I agree.
But, yeah, I'm going to go Kansas City still. They're still high-powered. Kansas City's defense isn't as good as it has been, but that offense is still unbelievable, and I don't think the Ravens can cover it, and I also don't think they could keep up in a shootout. So I'm going with Kansas City minus 3.5.
Sandy?
Not my name. But
are we going to keep doing this song and dance? Because I'm going to keep calling you Sandy, so you might as well just accept it. It's funny.
Do you hear that, or it's Big Bandy?
Yeah, it could get worse, except Sandy.
Anything but Sandy. Anything but Sandy.
Big Landy.
Right. Big Mandy. I don't care.
How is Mandy better than Sandy? They're both like feminine names.
All right, enough.
Except Mandy Manny. Or that's Manny, not Mandy.
Shut up. I don't bet, but I like to pick games and I like teams.
This is just who you like, not who you pick.
Correct. Kansas City obviously is the right choice here because they are the best team in the NFL. Most talent. Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Elite combo. Elite. That's what we chase here at Yale, the elite status, and that's what the Chiefs got right now.
If you were a real Yale student, you would know that 3 things isn't a combo. It's a trifecta.
Trifecta, trio, combo.
Listen, he didn't get into this school
it's that Yale education.
for academics. He got into this school for football.
I did not say that.
Academics
They
come
don't
second.
have horse racing prop bets as a class at Yale with that.
I came here for the dual academic and athletic achievements.
And the food. So it's
And
a trifecta. All right.
Trifecta. Okay. Enough. The Chiefs are going to win this game. There's no odds because I don't bet. But the Chiefs are going to win this game. By the time that clock hits 0, the Chiefs are going to have more points than the Ravens because of the amount of skill. The last game, it really could have gone any way. Ravens probably should have won that game. But they didn't. So they're coming down from a loss. Chiefs are coming from a dub. I don't see a scenario in which the Chiefs lose. So I pick the Chiefs to win the game.
Can I quickly offer a prop bet?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
If he plays, because I don't know if he's going to play, but if he plays, Le'Veon Bell will score a touchdown.
Did he get any snaps last week?
He wasn't activated last week.
He wasn't active.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is or not. I saw today that Devontae Freeman is, but I also think that Devontae Freeman was signed before Le'Veon, so he's like ahead of him, I guess.
And they got the Latavius Murray. Le'Veon's
Yeah.
sort of like
And
he's sort of
Latavius
an
Murray
emergency
scored a
guy with
touchdown
them.
last week.
Yeah, the thing that I don't get is that Latavius Murray was signed after Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon, but he played.
Latavius Murray was literally signed like 2 days before the game,
Yeah.
and he played.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you Le'Veon. I'm going to disagree. I don't think Le'Veon is going to touch the field.
I said if he plays.
But yeah.
I don't know if he's going to play. I'm not involved.
I'm not saying that this is going to happen because I unfortunately, because he was one of my favorite players at one point, but I think that he has fallen off at this point. But my worst fear that I could see happening very well is that, like, I don't know when the Steelers play the Ravens second time, but that second time we play them, I could see Le'Veon Bell just fucking going off in that game for whatever reason. Like, just against us, I could see it being his big game. Just
Did we play against him when we played the Jets 2 years ago?
I think he might have been hurt at that point.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
To Jake's point, Kansas City is 2-10 against the spread in its last 12 games. Lamar Jackson is 6-3 outright and against the spread in primetime games in his career. Baltimore is 9-1 against the spread as an underdog since the start of 2018. And I'm picking the Ravens. Plus 3.5. Don't know if they're going to win or not. I think they cover that. Kansas City does not know how to cover. I picked them as my mortal lock last week against the Browns, and they did not cover. So figure this week might as well go the other way. So I'm taking the Ravens. They have to win this game. Just a little stat for you guys, by the way, on that note. So teams that have started 0-2 over the last 2 seasons, there have been 20 of those teams. 0 of them have made the playoffs. So
is this all you do in college? Just look up stats on random games?
I like to analyze the data so I'm best prepared for the show.
We're analysts. I don't know if you know this, Big Sandy.
We're
Data
analysts. We are analysts.
We're analysts. So the Ravens basically, according to that stat, cannot start 0-2. So they have to win this game. They had a tough 2 games to start the year. The Raiders, that was a disappointment, I would say. But, I mean, the Raiders might be a team this year. Played pretty well last week. So
Browns-Texans might be a bit of a trap game.
Yeah.
I've been looking at, like, Texans, they had a pretty good scheme against the Jags. Like, the Jags.
They looked great.
So we'll use that as a fantastic transition into our mortal locks. My mortal lock of the week is Texans plus 12.5 against the Browns. I say that for a couple reasons. One, as I said last week, Tyrod Taylor is on a revenge tour right now that people got a little taste of last weekend, and it's going to continue for the rest of the year. I think this guy might be the most underrated player in the NFL. He has come in to shitty team after shitty team after shitty team and went above expectations. And he's just like a kind of guy like that, like Fitzmagic, that just comes into situations like that, transitions into the next quarterback. But he's a baller. And some stats on that game. So Cleveland has not been a 12 or more point favorite since 1995. So they haven't been in this.
Belichick was coaching him? Was that when Belichick was coaching him?
Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I'm not sure if he was there in 95. But so translated, the Browns have never been this much of a favorite in any of our lifetimes. And Tyrod Taylor has covered 6 straight starts. And Houston has covered 6 straight games against Cleveland. So for those reasons, I am taking the Houston Texans plus 12.5 against the Browns.
Yeah, I think there might be a little bit of some blood in the water there too for Tyrod against his former team.
100%. Revenge tour.
Going into Cleveland too. Yeah, I could easily see it.
I'm not saying they win. I hope they win. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, 12.5. That's a ridiculous spread. But I guess I can go into my mortal lock now since I started talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
My mortal lock of the week is the Fins plus 3 against the Buffalo Bills. Dolphins are at home. Buffalo got absolutely surprised last week, up 10-0 at halftime. And then, the Steelers took complete control of that game and somehow got out of Buffalo with a win. I don't know how, but that was a very uncharacteristic win by the Steelers, I must say. Dolphins, they held their own against New England. New England was a well-coached team. They sort of got lucky. That dude fumbled with, a little over 2 minutes left on the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
That sealed the game for him. But I think I'm still going Dolphins over Buffalo. Dolphins always seem to give Buffalo a pretty good game. And I think that defense can hold up against Buffalo's receivers. Nothing scares me with them. So Dolphins +3.
Yeah, I just pulled up the notes I had on that game. So Josh Allen is 11-4-1 against the spread on the road in his career. Miami is 12-5 against the spread since the start of last season. So those are some things to consider. But I don't hate that pick. Buffalo looked really bad last week against Steelers, and I think that they are just going to have to win this game, and I think they're going to come out way more juiced up. And I wasn't sold at all last week on the Dolphins. I know they won, but Tua didn't really look great. And they kind of got lucky with the fumble in the red zone at the end of the game by the Pats. So I think Buffalo probably wins by more than 3, but that's just me. It's your mortal lock. So anything could happen. And I was wrong last week. And
I was wrong,
no.
so,
Yeah. But hey, maybe we're right this week.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Who
do you like to win this week, Big Andrew, is the question.
People are not going to like my mortal lock, who I believe is going to win the game. That's it. That's all. I'm going to reiterate that. I'm going to be called a fake fan. My brother might hate me. My family might not talk to me. But I'm going to go Rams are going to beat the Colts. Straight up. I don't know what the odds. I don't care about the odds. But the Rams are so good with the addition of Matt Stafford and the amazing defense that is Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. I do not see them beating after the shit show that the Colts put on last week against the Seahawks. I don't want to pick the Rams because I am a diehard Colts fan, born in Indianapolis. But it's a mortal lock.
But you're an analyst. Analyst comes first.
At the end of the day, the job comes before. So my mortal lock of the week is the LA Rams.
So just to say this, the Rams are -3.5. Andrew doesn't get into all of that. He's just saying who he likes, who he thinks he is fond of this week. No picks. But Rams are 3.5 just for the viewers. So Jake.
So you just showed us that a bunch of teams that lost last week who can't afford to lose for this week because when you start 0-2, bad things happen.
Yep.
If you not only start 0-2, but if your 2 losses are to teams in your same division, you're big time done.
Yep.
So last week, the Dolphins beat the Patriots. The Patriots were at home.
Yep.
This week, they play the Jets. Belichick carves up young quarterbacks like Thanksgiving turkey. And they know they got to win this game. They can't afford to start 0-2 in their own division. I like the Patriots to beat the Jets, cover 5.5. That's my mortal lock.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. These were our picks for week 2. Hopefully we are better than last week. And we actually did pretty well, like with our picks last week. Our mortal locks just didn't hit except for Martin. But before we get out of here, we are going to play Martin's pick.
Everyone out there, all of our Jewish viewers are having an easy and meaningful Yom Kippur fast. I'm 23 hours in, feeling hungry, feeling thirsty, feeling horny. Probably the third one more than all of them. But that's besides the point. We're here to talk about picks. We're here to talk about the Saints and the Panthers and how that over is going to be – it's a lot. I mean, at the end of the day, over 44.5 points, Saints, Panthers. Jameis had 5 tutties last week. And C-Max will get the way to blow up. Darnold looking like he's in full swing of things with his new team. I'm taking the over on that game, over 44.5. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what I do. They call me Mr. Locks. or Dr. Locks, Mr. Locksmith, whatever you want to call me. Oh my God.
Oh, oh,
That's what I do. Oh, appreciate it. I do more than picks, fellas. Saints, Panthers, over. Hammer it.
so there's Martin. So his pick is the over in the Saints Panthers game.
I'm ashamed to call that man my brother.
I do
You
like
just
that.
picked against your team.
I know, but what was that? What was that performance?
He texted me that video. My immediate response was incredible production.
Incredible.
Martin, or Andrew, I don't know if you know this, but Martin is the second coming of your dad.
He really is.
Literally,
He really
he is. Like everything.
Shout
everything
out.
must be over the top. Shout out, Peter. Great.
Shout out Peter Weiss.
Shout out Papa Pete.
All right. Well,
he's my second father.
yeah. Great guy. All right. On that note, thank you for joining us. And I hope everybody has a great weekend watching football. Thank you guys for being here as well.
Well, appreciate you, Tommy, for having me on. Hey, before I go, Yale has their first game this weekend against Holy Cross. Be sure to watch it I think it's on ESPN Plus. Support the Bulldogs.
Are you playing in this game?
I will be on the sidelines. Correct. Yes.
So
Let's
everybody
go.
tune in to watch Andrew stand on the sidelines.
Hey, I could go in. People could go down. I'm
Yeah.
taking this year as a mental year, but yeah, I will be fully dressed out.
Let's
Sweet.
go.
All right. Peace.